Hello dear students, welcome to Pen and Paper Chemistry on YouTube. Today we are going to do the topic of symbols and valencies. What do you mean by the word symbol? Symbol is nothing but the short form for a name. For example, amongst your friends, Matthew would be lovingly called as Mats, or Nandan would be called as Nance. Anita would be called as Annie. So these are all short names. Similarly, for all the 118 elements known to us till date, we have named all the 118 elements and also given them a nickname, a short form, which is known as the symbol of that particular element. Now, as a beginner, you are required to know only some of the symbols. I am not going to load you with the symbols of all the 118 elements. So today I'm going to introduce some important ones to you, and I'll also help you learn these through regular 5-a-day challenges. So are you ready with your pen and paper so that you can note down these symbols and valencies? Oh, did I use the word valency? What do I mean by the word valency? So let us define symbol first. Symbol is the short form for the name of an element. So how do you give symbol of an element? Now these are standard symbols that are used the world over by the scientific community. So you will have to know the basics just like the ABC of any language. So carbon is given by the symbol capital C. Now you have to be very, very careful about where you are using the capital and the small. Calcium, now that also starts with C. If I give the symbol C to calcium, then it will be confusing. So what do? We put a small a in front of it, indicating that this is calcium. Notice I put a capital C and a small a. Now come to chromium. Now you know how I like to explain it. We don't say it as chromium, right? We say it chromium. So what's the predominant sound? So we have a capital C and a small r as the symbol of chromium. Come to copper. You know, in the case of copper, if you notice, I've written a name down, which is cuprum. Cuprum is actually the Latin name of copper. And you will come across a lot of elements in chemistry which are known more popularly by their Latin names, because it is in this language wherein advancement in chemistry took place to a great extent. So there are a lot of elements which are known by their Latin names, and their symbols are also derived from there. So copper, instead of calling it as CO, we say Cu, a capital C and a small u. Cobalt, on the other hand, you see now O is available, so we can always give it the symbol CO. Always remember, the first alphabet has to be capital, the second alphabet has to be small. But when you come to radicals, that means a combination of elements. Then in that case, we write both of them as capital. So for example, ammonium. Now you see over here how it is written, a capital N, a capital H and 4 at the foot of it. This means that it's a combination of one nitrogen atom and 4 hydrogen atoms. That is why we write both of them as capitals and not one capital as and one small. What I have explained for the elements. Now you see a small plus on the top. What is this? The small plus that you saw on the top in the case of ammonium, NH4 positive, is what we call as the valency of an element. What do we mean by valency? It tells us how many friends is an atom capable of making. an atom or a radical capable of making. In other words, it talks about the combining capacity of any element or radical. You can learn the valency in different ways. So what are those two ways? So for example, sodium. The Latin name of sodium is natrium. So from natrium, I take the first two alphabets, capital N and small a, and its valency is 1. We can also write sodium as Na positive. So you see over here, I've written it as Na with a plus sign on top. So you can learn it in both ways. You can either learn it as sodium Na valency 1 or sodium is Na positive, where the plus sign on top gives us the valency of that element or radical. Again and again, I am using the word radical. What is radical? A group of elements carrying a charge. So for example, SO3 2 negative. Now this will be getting quite confusing if you are getting used to or if you are being introduced to the concept of chemistry. So just don't worry about it. Get your pen and paper ready because I'm going to give you a set of symbols and valencies to learn and write down. Now here I have listed the symbols and valencies according to their position in the periodic table. So it will be helpful for you in your senior classes as well. So let's start with our group 1. So we have hydrogen H positive. That means hydrogen H with a valency of 1. I'm giving you all positive. Yes. In this lesson, we are going to talk about all radicals which are positive. We have, the ones with a plus on their head. Sodium. Now, again, if you will notice in the brackets, I've given you the Latin name as well. It's good to know the Latin names. It adds to your GK. You are more informed. And you are not learning by rote memory, you are understanding things as well. So sodium is Na positive. Potassium, Latin name Kalium, hence the symbol K positive. That means potassium K with a valency of 1. Come to group 2. Magnesium, Mg2 positive and calcium Ca2 positive. Yes, I know there are other elements as well in group 1 and group 2, but as I said, for a beginner, we do not want to load you with a lot of information. Chromium, Cr3 positive. Manganese. Now you see manganese, if you see I've made 2 arrows over here. Manganese, Mn2 positive and manganese, Mn4 positive. Oh my God, so manganese has a split personality. Manganese can form or make 2 bonds or it can make 4 bonds depending on the situation. So how do we distinguish between the two? The one with a valency 2 is written as manganese 2. Again, you notice the 2 comes in the brackets indicating that manganese is behaving in such a way that it is making 2 friends. That means its valency is 2. Whereas manganese with a positive 4 valency is written as manganese 4. Previously, these forms were also known as manganous and manganic. Although the present IUPAC system says that we should follow the valency being written in brackets in front of the name. So manganese is Mn2 positive and Mn4 positive. Simple. Iron. Iron man, right? Iron. Latin name is ferrum. Fe. Again, iron 2 and iron 3. So you have iron with 2 positive valency and iron with 3 positive valency. OUS is indicative of the lower valency and IC ending is indicative of the higher valency. Nickel, Ni2 positive. Platinum, Pt4 positive. Although even this is found to show dual valency, so sometimes it does show a valency of 2 positive as well. Copper, we spoke about copper a while ago. So cuprum, copper 1 and copper 2, Cu positive and Cu2 positive. Are you noting them all down? This will come in very handy. And if you notice, I've given them to you in different colors. Colors help us to remember, to recall better. So if you can, get hold of sketch pens or color pencils and make a colorful chart so as to help you remember these. Silver, its Latin name. What is its Latin name? You can see on your screen. Very correct. It's argentum. So Ag positive. Gold has its aura, right? So it's aurum. Au3 positive. Zinc, Zn2 positive. Again, mercury, the silver water, right? That is what is the meaning of the word hydragyrum. That is why its symbol is Hg. So mercury 1 and mercury 2. Hg positive and Hg2 positive. This is also called as mercurous and mercuric. As I said earlier, the ending OUS is indicative of the lower valency. The ending IC is indicative of the higher valency. Are you all noting it down? And now we have the elements of the P block of the periodic table. This is something, a lot of new words, new things being introduced. Don't worry. We'll help you sail through this. Aluminium. Take the first two letters, Al3 positive. Tin is stannum, Sn, Sn2 positive and Sn4 positive. Lead, plumbum. You know, lead pipes are used for transporting water, right? So Pb2 positive and Pb4 positive. Antimony. Can you give me the Latin name of antimony? If you notice, there's the symbol Sb, right? Sb3 positive. That means we are not using its English name. We are using its Latin name. Okay, you got it right. It's stibium. Last but not the least, please don't forget to write the most important radical that we are going to talk about in basic radicals, that is ammonium. NH4 positive, N capital, H capital, 4 and a plus on the head. Have you all noted this down? Now just make a target of learning 5 of these symbols every day with their valencies. You have 5 fingers. Just write any 5 of these symbols and valencies on your fingers. Have a look at them. Admire your hand. Just 4 or 5 times a day. And that's it. You are done. In the next video, I'm going to introduce a lot of acidic radicals, which are quite confusing to learn for many students. I have been giving them in the 5-a-day challenges, but I will introduce you to acidic radicals all in one go in the next video. So please stay tuned, stay connected, and come back for another interesting session. Take care.